Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, kind sir. Yeah, I'm good, man.
Good. Good. So,
How's your morning going so far?
not bad. Not bad. Just normal stuff again. Did a little bit of work and then jumped on here. And then that's it. That's it so far. How about you?
Mr. Notion again?
I know, man. He's
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
taking early retirement.
I know that Thailand life has got him, man.
Yeah.
He's
Got
just
out
looking to
partying.
chill now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll be late where he is, isn't
But
it?
no,
So,
I haven't really.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, not much this morning, man. I haven't really done any work, just a couple emails, gym this morning, and then I'll just be straight to it after this. Um, but yeah, just been working on my kit this week still. The boom bap one. I got a bunch of like live drum recordings back and some like drum breaks and everything. I
Hmm.
don't know if you've ever tried to do it, but man, mixing live drums, like processing them, is like it's so much trickier than doing digital ones. Like
Yeah.
if you start off, if you're making a trap kit or a drill kit, I don't know, because it's a digital sound. It's like you still have to use compressors and all this stuff to like get them sounding a certain way when you design them from scratch. But when you've got like a live drum recording, because they're recorded in a room, you've got to deal with like the room noise, just all this different stuff that
Yeah.
I'm not really used to. Like same
Yeah.
kind of processing, but just a lot different, if that makes sense. I
No, I
don't
know
know
what
if
you
you ever
mean.
tried to do it.
I remember like Al Hug saying that he was like the best way he can go about when he's recording is to make sure he gets like as good a recording as possible, so it's like less work in the back end. Because like yeah, I can imagine it being a
Yeah,
headache, like all these extra things you got to like cut out and like all these extra. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a bit of a headache if you don't get like solid recordings from the beginning.
yeah, definitely. Luckily, the guy has kind. He's semi mixed them, so usually when you record a whole drum set, you might have like eight different mics or something all at once because you have like an overhead mic, like sometimes a room mic, and then like mics on each individual thing, like the kick drum, the snare, and then luckily, like he sent the dry versions as well, but then he sent like a semi-processed one where he's kind of pieced it together, so at least everything's synced up right, and I can
Mm,
just deal with one file for the break. But then when I'm dealing with like the individual kick drums, for example, to turn that into like a kick that is usable in a lot of boom bap beats, it's actually really tricky because you can like get a break sounding kind of nice by itself, and then as soon as you play it with a melody, it's like, ah, no, man, this kick's not really punching like it needs to
yeah,
punch.
it almost
Or
sounds
yeah, it's just
like a perk or like a top like an acousticy kind of like too acousticy if that makes sense. There's no sub to it, like no thump.
yeah, it just sounds like it starts off really like thin, doesn't it? So you've got to do all this like extra processing to give it some sub. Like there's
Mm,
some plugins I've been using that will kind of put a sine wave like underneath it, so you just kind of get like a really low sine wave just to give it like that little bit of sub, and
mm,
then compressors and loads of different effects to actually get it somewhat usable. But it's a challenge, man. I kind of like it. I spent the day doing it yesterday. I feel like I
nice.
didn't get much out of yesterday, but yeah, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, nice one. Do you think? Did you try like layering another like actual, like a trap kick underneath it, or just something with more punch just underneath it, and then having like the main texture being the main kick? If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I've thought about doing that because I do that in some boom bap beats as well. Like I'll just grab like one kick for the high end and then one for
Yeah,
the sub. I just wanted to see how much I could get out of this one kick because I didn't want to just like take kicks from like other packs as well. But if I can maybe manipulate some, just so I'm taking like the sub from one maybe, and then I can keep my kick for the top end. So
yeah,
it's not really just like I don't know. It's not like I'm just recycling shit then.
yeah, exactly. You want it like to be all fresh sounds. I guess for your own benefit as well, because when you're using it, you want new sounds. You don't want to just
Yeah,
be going through like sounds that sound similar to other kits as well.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. But it's a challenge, man. Um, but it's coming along. It's coming along. What have
yeah.
you been working on this week?
Just emails, man. I've pretty much got it to where I want it to be. So I've got my welcome flow sorted out. It was just like little things that were
Mm-hmm.
putting me off doing it because I was like, how am I gonna stop these flows from triggering if they do certain things. And like with MailerLite, it was kind of hard to
Right.
do that. But I was just like, let me just rinse the you know the support messenger, the instant messenger, because they're really quick on there. So I was just rinsing that, and they were
Yeah.
helping me, just set up all these flows and triggers and stuff. So yeah, I managed to get a good welcome flow down, abandoned cart flow down, a post purchase for like first time and a repeat buyer. So you need to split them up so they're not getting like the same flow, and then a post free download, a post freebie, flow. So, but it's kind of similar to the paid one, but just a little bit
Yeah.
tweaks because it's a free one. And then yeah,
Of
just
course.
tweaking like the little like individual flows like for my main free kit, and because I'm still getting like traffic from YouTube, my YouTube video towards that. So just tweaking all of that to try and like
Right.
optimize everything. Working on more like just like individual campaigns to get more people into like the community, and when I'm running sales on kits, just more email stuff because I feel like I'm ready with. I mean, you're probably similar because I mean you got the Heat guys doing it now, but before you, because you're doing so many other things, you kind of sleep on it, and then you should be doing it because it's like
Yeah.
it makes up a big percentage of like what could be revenue, and yeah, so
Yeah,
just kind of
definitely.
been trying to build that out this last couple of weeks.
When you spend days working on stuff like that, at the end of it, you kind of feel, even though you've accomplished something, you kind of feel like you haven't because you haven't done anything like music wise. If you haven't made a beat or if you haven't made a loop or whatever, and you just spent the whole day dealing with like admin stuff and emails, you're like, man, this is why I got into it. Like they're the
Yeah,
days that like they're needed, but I don't know. You almost feel guilty when you do them in a way, if that
yeah,
makes sense. Or you
yeah.
just
I know
feel
what you
like
mean.
you should have been cooking up, or it's a strange one, but it's definitely needed.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
I
crazy
know
how
what you
many
mean.
people don't actually do anything like that. Like so many people we speak to who like just upload beats to YouTube and they make like a good amount of sales just through type beats, but they could make so much more if they actually just put in some simple things like some email flows and
Yeah,
just understood a bit of marketing. But a
yeah,
lot of
definitely,
people,
man.
I get it because it's the boring side, isn't it? It's not that creative. It's creative in its own way, but it's not like making beats, is it? But most people do just want to make beats and then have people buy them. But it's like you're missing like a whole chunk of revenue and the whole like just like big potential
Yeah,
if you
no,
just spent some extra time
100%.
on like learning the marketing side of it.
Yeah, there's a guy in the community he's actually doing really well. Like he makes it's that guy we did the call with on Tuesday. Um, like he
Oh yeah, yeah.
does, yeah, the Afro Joe guy. He
Mm-hmm.
he's living off of selling beats through YouTube. But that's literally his only
Sick.
sales. That's his only like stream to direct traffic to his beats.
Yeah,
And I did ask him, I was like, do you do like email stuff?
just the
And
type beat channel.
yeah, just the type beats. So yeah, I was just like, do you collect emails or anything? And he's like, nah, not really. Oh, he says he think he has some. Oh, I forget he had a few, but like he didn't want to pay to hold on to them. Like when you start collecting quite a few, you have to
Yeah,
get it's quite expensive to hold on to them. But it makes sense why it's expensive because it kind of forces you to actually do something with them instead of just sit there and kind of hold on to them. So
yeah, definitely. And it's just needed, man. Like, what other business do you have that you don't pay attention to the marketing side? It's like
yeah,
when you
yeah.
want to be a full time producer, that just comes with it. Like, yeah, it's good that all the sales are coming from the Type Beat channel, but kind of just putting that trust in just one stream, like one source of traffic, just seems kind of, I don't know. It seems kind of risky because anything can
Mm,
happen to YouTube. Like YouTube's been like sturdy for a long time, hasn't it? So you'd like to think that nothing's going to happen, but at least if you do start an email list, like at least you're going to have that data forever.
mm,
Like you can take that wherever. Like having that data is one of the most powerful things you can have, man. That's why so many businesses spend so much money on collecting all that data. Like
mm.
any business now, like even your supermarket, they want you on those club cards and they kind of almost like force you to have them, don't they? Because they put the prices up high and then they say, well, if you just sign up for this free card, then you get it at a cheaper price, even though it was probably the price that it was originally.
Yeah,
They do
exactly.
that so that they can collect everyone's data, because who knows what they do with it. They can use that to like retarget things to you. They learn
Hmm.
more about the customer base, so they know what to market to you. Maybe some of the shady ones sell that data to other companies, like who knows. But just having like the actual data is one of the most powerful things you can have, really.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think it gets overlooked a lot because I feel like it just gets overlooked in anything creative, really. If you're doing like production, or if you're singing or
Yeah,
rapping, or if you're doing like graphics design, just anything creative, I think it just gets neglected because that's not really what you want to be focused on. But if you actually really
yeah, of
get
course.
into it and like actually kind of, it is quite, it's a different it's a different profession, I guess, but it is quite fun to get into
Yeah,
once you start realizing how like how powerful it can be.
yeah, definitely. I never hated it. It was just when I was doing everything myself, it just felt like too much, if you know what I mean. Like I just felt like I was doing too much almost, or not even like I was burning myself out, but I don't know. I felt like if there's someone out there who can do a better job at that thing than me, like making thumbnails, for example, I can make an alright thumbnail. But then if someone is spending their whole life working on Photoshop, they're obviously going to be able to make a better thumbnail than me. So why not just pay the person who's actually better at doing that thing rather
Yeah.
than me trying to spend all that time trying to get really good? I feel like it's always good to know a bit about it to start off doing it yourself, just so you know how it works. And then at a certain time, hand that thing off to someone. Um, but yeah, it's like with emails, it was the same thing. Like I spent a
Mm.
lot of time reading books, studying, taking courses, all this stuff, and then it was working by myself. But then there's also someone else who's going to spend even more time than me studying and learning and be better at that thing than me. So why not
Mm.
hand it off to someone who's who's going to do it much better than I could?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it helps as well, like that you did start off doing it, because then it makes you it makes you appreciate what it makes you
Yeah,
like appreciate why you're spending that money on them to do it. If that makes sense, because then you realize how much work has to go into it. With the thumbnails,
yeah, hundred
editing,
percent.
and emails. Because then you're like, why am I spending this amount? Why are they charging me this? If you'd never touched it and
Yeah,
you didn't know how it all worked, you'd be like, why are they charging me so much per month to do this, or X amount for a thumbnail? But it's like you appreciate how much time they actually have to
yeah,
put into it, and time they have already put into it
of
to,
course, yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, exactly that. And like if I'm being honest, like if I remember, maybe like before I was outsourcing for anything, when I was doing like everything myself, I might have been better off financially because I'm keeping everything for myself. But I also wasn't giving myself much room to grow because there's only so many hours in the day to actually like focus on specific tasks. And then
mm,
also it's like I don't know. Yeah, I was just spending like a lot of time doing everything as well. So now I've actually got more time back because I've handed certain things off to people. So it's like, okay, do I want more money or more time?
mm,
And it's even though maybe right now I'm maybe spending a lot more money than I should, like I do feel like I've got a lot of time back, which is
mm.
good.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I think that can't get it back. You can get money back, but you can never get time back. So
Just saying, I felt kind of stressed out before because it was like there was always something to do, like constantly, and there still kind of is. But it was like, okay, do a film a tutorial, then edit it, then do the thumbnail, then take care of marketing, the email chains, like everything.
oh
And it
shit,
was
the
like
website,
there's
and
just so
then
much going on. Yeah,
yeah,
and the website, yeah, there was just like constantly something. So at least now
mm,
I can just, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm overworking myself. But sometimes I
yeah,
feel like I might have handed too much over. Sometimes in my day, I'm like, all right, what do I need to do today? I almost feel like too free.
yeah. I hate you, man. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like you work so hard to not work, and then when you get all this time, it's like fuck. I feel like I'm not doing enough again.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Mm,
But it's a strange feeling to get used to because yeah, just for that exact thing, I always feel like I'm not doing enough, but then I think, well, I'm not doing enough because someone else is working on the stuff that I used to work on. So
mm,
really, when you put everyone's work together, if that was all in like my time, like my one day, it would feel like loads. So sometimes you just feel like you're just working loads, but you're not actually doing the things that you need to be doing. If you get me,
yeah, they're moving the needle.
you're not using your time efficiently. Yeah,
Yeah,
like sometimes when you spend ages like replying to emails and doing that, it's like I don't know, you feel like you're working hard, but they're just like mundane tasks.
yeah. I hear you. So Ocean just replied.
Okay, is he gonna? I think he's joining, isn't he? He
Yeah, yeah,
said he's there. I'll just say we're live, so join when you come.
Oh man. Yeah. I feel like I'm kind of in that space right now, just
So
because I'm still like doing everything myself. I always think, should I have
yeah,
like not? I don't know, because like, you have your outgoings for your living costs and everything. But I always think like, should I have just
yeah,
stayed at home for a little bit longer and just outsourced like editing or outsourced my marketing or just little bits like that? Because I'm in that
mm,
position now where I'm like, I am still doing everything, like sorting out my own emails, thumbnails, videos, everything, and it is a lot. Like
yeah,
to juggle all of that and then like try and put out kits regularly, and then you've still got that whole checklist of things to do, like build hype for it, make the kit,
yeah. Of course.
send emails out to build hype, build the landing page, and then make the artwork for it, and then so it's just all these jobs that take up a bunch of time, and then it's not leaving a lot of time
Yeah,
left over. But I'm still kind of like, okay, let me just switch off after like 6, 7 o'clock and just have my evening. But I guess it slows progress
yeah.
down.
Of
But
course.
yeah, still not. But at least I'm not burning out. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, I guess you know when you're burnt out, don't you? Like
Yeah,
if you don't feel burnt out and you feel like you can keep going, then it's not really an issue, is it? I think it only
yeah,
becomes an issue when you it's just affecting you mentally, or even people around you. You know, let's say if your girlfriend was like, "You've spent no time with me, like we never do anything together," or you never see your friends, like never do anything. Then it's like, all right, maybe I should take a little step back just to
mm,
actually live my life a bit. But if it's
yeah,
not like that, then it should be okay. But isn't it? Is there not anything you'd be willing to hand off, like something like
yeah.
editing or
Yeah, I'd be happy to hand off the editing. I'd be very happy to hand off the editing because that's kind of long. That takes up probably a
yeah,
good chunk of time, and you're not really. I mean, I know obviously it's contributing towards like your YouTube channel, but it's not really
yeah,
doing anything else other than that. So I'd be happy to hand that off. It's just finding a good editor and then someone that can kind of work with my budget, which it's not feasible all the
yeah,
time. There was one guy that I was
of
gonna
course,
work with. He hit me up and he was like, I'll edit the first few for free," and he did a couple, but they just weren't. They weren't like I could have done a better job, if that makes sense, in the amount of time it took him to do it for me.
yeah,
Like the color grading wasn't very good, and I don't know. It just needed more work. It wasn't very polished. Um, so
got
yeah,
you,
I'd hand the editing off. What else would I hand off? Whenever I make a kit, I'll sometimes outsource for that. Similar to what you do. Like how when I did the Zenith kit, I
yeah,
had
the sound
people make.
design,
Yeah, I had people make the guitar starters. I paid someone on Fiverr to do the flute phrases. Um, so yeah, I definitely outsource some stuff, but editing would be the number
do you
one.
get people to do like MIDI files or like Portal presets or anything like that?
Yeah, for the Zenith one, I made my own Portal presets, but the hi hat MIDIs, I paid a couple producers in the Discord to shoot through a bunch of
Right,
hi hat MIDIs. Yeah, just so I had a lot more to choose from.
got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, now that makes sense. Yeah, I think editing would be the thing that would save you the most time. That
yeah,
seems like the probably the best thing to hand off, because then in
mm.
those spare hours you get in that day, you could be focusing on something else. Because the editing part is just, it feels like a mundane task. It's almost like answering emails, isn't it? Because you're just like, I don't know. It's creative in some ways, but if you like, for me, if when I'm doing the same video each week or a similar video each week, there's a certain edit that takes place. It's like there's
Mm.
certain steps that we make in that edit, so it's not like every edit's like really creative. So it just felt like, ah man, cut here, delete,
Delete.
delete, cut,
Yeah,
cut, cut. It's just like nothing really exciting. So I
yeah,
was real happy to hand that off, man. And some people love editing as well, like,
yeah,
and they'll do a better job than me. Maybe like the first few, I found that when I first hired someone to edit, we would have to make a lot of changes in the first few, but then over time they start getting used to your style, and they're like, because you've asked them to make these changes before, then they just know not to do that again, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
after a while, they just know your style of editing and what you like. So now most of the time, like once the edit comes back, it's just good to go. Sometimes I get sent the edit back the same day it's going live, and it's almost like cutting it close because in case I need to make changes.
Mm.
But most of the time, it's just good to upload. So, but that just comes like with time after they've edited
Yeah,
quite a few videos.
your editor's been with you for quite a while now. I remember, fuck, I remember the Airbnb. I think
Yeah.
you were chatting to her at that point, like the first
Oh
Airbnb.
yeah, that was the first time.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. So it's been a while now.
yeah, a good couple of years.
It's crazy to think how fast time's gone.
I
I
know
think I started the
that
channel in
Airbnb. That does,
2020, I think.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't feel like it was. Was it 2020 when we did that session? 2021, 2021, I think.
Might have been 2021
Yeah.
because I started the channel in 2020. Would have taken a little while to grow. And
Hmm.
then maybe we linked up 2021. Could have
I think
been.
it was. Yeah. That's crazy, man. That feels like that only feels like last year. But fuck, man.
Yeah. It's mad,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Fuck, man. Where's time gone? Where's
Fun to do
time
more of
gone?
those link ups.
Yeah, we do,
Yeah.
man.
Keep
I
saying
think
it, don't we? But
we
we
go on. Sorry. I was waiting for you there.
um yeah, it we keep saying that we'll link up and do these sessions and we just never get around to doing it. We went through that phase, didn't we, of just linking up all the time. Like
Mhm.
whether it was pirate sessions or the Airbnbs, and then yeah, now like we do now and again. But I don't know what changed. I don't know what
Yeah, I
changed.
don't
I'm
know,
trying to
man.
think. No one's really had kids apart from Jack, so
Yeah,
that's not been a thing.
yeah,
We'll move
Y-
to different places, I guess. Obviously, Ocean's only just moved.
yeah.
Was he living somewhere else before? Or am I? Oh
What?
no, he just moved studio, didn't he? That was the last thing.
Yeah, yeah. He had his place in London, and then he spent most of the time in the studio. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah,
know what
that's
you
right.
mean. Like we did have a good run of it, didn't we? It was like every 2 or 3, 4 months we'd all link up, do an Airbnb thing, or like
Yeah.
there'd be a few of us go to like a pirate studio, or yeah. I think it helped that we had the track club sponsors, like the big challenges, because that kind of made everyone come
Oh yeah,
together. Um, but yeah,
that's
we haven't
true.
really done anything big recently. Probably need to plan something. Yeah, it's kind of tough, isn't it? I feel like that we've done a few link ups, but it's just been like me and you, or like I guess in 2020, like last year, I was doing the sessions with Ocean through our manager. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, we need to get something arranged.
yeah. We'll finally organize one.
Maybe when the weather
Definitely.
gets a bit better.
I know. Yeah, yeah. Maybe when summer comes around, this is when all the link ups will happen.
Yeah,
Back in the winter, no one's really bothered, are they? It's just like, I don't want to leave my house, man. It's cold out there.
yeah,
But summertime, yeah, we'll make something happen.
yeah. Do you remember we was
Have
gonna
you
do
been
that
keeping up with
one,
all the beef as well?
the beef?
Oh, go on. Which one?
I was gonna say, do you remember when we was gonna do that one? I think it was last summer. We was gonna hire that massive place that had like a grand piano in it and a massive garden. It was I can't remember where it was, but it was huge. I think Jack found it or Ocean found it, and it was like a
Oh,
proper
maybe.
like old school mansion. It had like a huge dining like long dining table, like Victorian, almost like
Yeah,
Victorian kind of vibes.
I think I remember that.
Mm, yeah.
Something like that
So
would be cool to rent out.
yeah, what were you saying just a second ago about the beef?
Yeah, I was just gonna switch topics because the beef's still happening, man. Everything's
It
going
is.
crazy right now.
Yeah,
I feel
it
like
is,
once
man.
the first couple tracks came out, everyone's just in the mood to throw a diss track out there.
Literally.
Chris Brown dropped one at Quavo, didn't he? Then Quavo responded. I
Yeah.
listened to both of those. I was surprised at the Chris Brown one. He was like, I don't know, he came on like full Grease mode. Like you think of Chris Brown as lovey-dovey singer, R&B
Mm.
singer, but he was on one in this diss track. It was kind
What
of
was he
sick.
saying? What was
And
he
then
saying about him? I've not heard it yet.
oh man, he he was talking about like sitting next to him at the Grammys or something, but saying he wanted to smash his face in. Not in those words, but just saying he kept on thinking about beating the shit out of him or something. He was just going in. It was like a full on like aggressive mode track. And then when
Damn.
Quavo came back, obviously Quavo was talking about him beating up Rihanna and grabbing some other girl, which everyone's going to talk about if you're going against Chris Brown, aren't you? Like that's going to
Yeah.
be the first thing that comes to mind. So he was talking about that, talking about him being a crackhead, saying he was like the crackhead Michael Jackson because there's I don't know, there's loads of rumors about him doing loads of coke or something like that. So it just sounded real personal, man. It sounded
Mm.
real personal. But then Quavo was like, "Can't believe we're doing this over a girl or something." So I, I don't know if they've. I don't even know what goes on like behind the scenes, but guessing maybe a lot of these people like are around like the same girls trying to get the same women, and then they were mentioning it in some of the songs actually, like doing a lot of pillow talking. So maybe one guy gets with a girl, like they're chilling, talking about the other guys, and then word just gets around, when they start telling people that, oh, so he said this about you, and then you said this about
Yeah.
him, and
Yeah.
it just gets petty, doesn't it? But then all of a sudden it just turns into this like full on beef just from like he say, she say type of thing.
Mm.
So, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But
Yeah.
listen to them, man. They're actually two good tracks because
I need
Quavo's just
to.
cool, isn't he? He's like the way he comes on. It's like a proper type of like Migos flow. So it's like
Mm.
he's rapping, but then he's vibing at the same time.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
liked
It's like
his response.
a wavy diss
Um,
track.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah, I
then
need to listen to him.
who else as well? I
Didn't
haven't
Drake?
actually listened to.
Didn't Drake do a diss on Metro?
Yeah, well, it was in response to everyone, wasn't he? And then he did that. What did he say? Something like, "Shut your ass up and play some drums" or something.
Yeah.
He said that, and all
Yeah.
the producers were like, kind of felt that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw someone make a meme about it. It was like when Metro heard the Drake diss and he's like listening to it and then he's like, "The fuck?" And then like he goes into his room, pulls out a mic, starts plugging it
Yeah,
in. And then there's like it cuts to his future going, "Metro, don't do it, don't do it. It's not gonna work very well."
yeah, yeah. I think I saw that one.
Yeah,
So
must
he
be
did
making
that,
some
but
good
then
hit.
he also released an AI version of Tupac and Snoop Dogg
Oh,
dissing Kendrick.
oh shit.
So that's when people were like, I don't know, it was like kind of cool in a way because he wrote it. Apparently, he wrote it anyway. But then it's like you're using Tupac's voice to do it, so people were unsure about it. Like some people were like, "Yeah, it's just AI, it is what it is." But then other people were like, "Nah, you shouldn't be playing with Tupac like that because
Hmm.
he's gone." So it's like disrespectful. So I could see it from that angle as well. And apparently, Tupac's estate is suing Drake now. So I think he's taking the song down.
Oh
Or they're trying
shit.
to sue him.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure there'll be some money to listen to that. I've not listened to any of them. The only one I've listened to was the Kendrick one on Metro's album. That's only because it was on the album. I
Oh,
was like,
really?
oh
Oh,
yeah.
you're far behind then.
No, I've not
Yeah,
heard any of it yet. I keep
you're
meaning
far
to check it
behind. You
out.
need to catch up.
I do, man. It just seemed
I
like just
love when this stuff happens, man, just because I like the competitiveness from it. But
yeah. I feel like it brings
um,
out like better music from these guys as well. Like it's harsh, but
yeah,
like it makes
definitely.
them seems like there's more energy behind it.
Yeah. And when it's
Mm.
like Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole, it's like it's a pretty safe beef, isn't it? No one's really gonna get hurt in that situation. It's not like old school days. It's
Yeah.
not like you're beefing. Trying to think who would be an example. But imagine beefing like like the 50 Cent stuff back in the day in Ja Rule. That stuff got heated.
Mm.
But I feel like this one it could just be lyrical.
Yeah. Hopefully it is. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like although do you reckon? Do you think? Because if there's a whole Gunner snitching Thug, like, do you think if Thug gets out, because I feel like he's still pretty street, and I feel like Gunner has that side to him as well.
Oh yeah,
Do you think if he gets out, that
yeah,
could be something that could be like get actually heated?
maybe
Yeah, it's because it's like
potentially. Yeah,
the Migos are kind of street, aren't they? And obviously the whole shoot up happened because they were like playing
yeah, they're
dice.
hood really.
They are proper hood, aren't they? I
Yeah,
feel like that never gets out of some rappers. They just still have that part of them that they have
no,
to like satisfy.
yeah, of course. I think it's like maybe an ego thing or a power thing. It's like you could take someone out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them type of vibe.
Yeah,
So yeah, potentially. And
yeah.
also Kendrick dropped a like that remix, didn't he? This in Drake.
Oh, really?
But then Sony took it down. I don't know why. I haven't actually read into why they took it down yet, but Sony took it down, and then he re-uploaded a different version with just him, I think, because I think it was at first it was Kanye and Future, maybe. I think it was the two of them.
Mm.
I'll double check, but yeah, they released that version, and then Sony took it down, and then Kanye released. I think it was on his own channel, if I remember right. He put his own version up with like just him on it, and then Sony took that down too.
Oh shit.
I'm not actually sure why. I wonder if I could search that quick. So it's
Mm.
like everyone's getting involved now, man.
Literally.
Um, Kanye, this is Drake. Yeah, so he dropped it, but why did they take it down? Um, Sony takes down Kanye track. Yeah, I feel like Kanye and Drake have just had this little underlying beef for a while, haven't they? And they kind of made up when they did that Larry Hoover concert,
Yeah.
when they did that one together.
Hmm.
So we're like, okay, maybe they've made up, and then straight back to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they're friends again. I wonder what
Yeah,
code
the
is it? Like
remix
what?
was blocked on YouTube shortly after due to a copyright claim by SME Sony Music, the record label that distributes Future's music. So yeah, maybe because it was like Future's copyright, maybe Sony didn't want anything to do with Kanye and they took it
Mm.
down. Maybe
Yeah.
they released it without Sony giving the go ahead. It could have been
Maybe.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I wonder how this actually. Apart, obviously, the Chris Brown one and the Quaver one, kind of know roughly why. But I wonder why they just feel like, oh, I don't like you anymore. Like I just don't fuck with certain people. I wonder what
It
sets it
feels like
off.
everyone's against Drake at the moment.
Yeah.
Like it feels like everyone teamed up and just went against Drake. So there must have been. You'd think there was something that happened, or was it just a case of pillow talk where I don't know, words just got around that he said this about them, but maybe he didn't say that. Like, who knows, man?
Mm.
Who knows what went
Yeah.
on behind the scenes?
I wonder what. Yeah, I wonder what happened because like, well, yeah, Future and Drake did that album together, didn't they? And
Yeah,
Metro, like they all three of them were like good a few years back, but yeah, something
yeah.
must have happened.
A lot of them were accusing Drake of sneak dissing as well. So in a lot of Drake songs, I think people were saying, because rappers just like say stuff in songs, but it's not really aimed at anyone.
Mm.
There's been rumors that he was like kind of subliminally dissing them in his like previous songs.
Yeah, yeah,
So maybe he was like sneak dissing, but I don't know.
yeah. Who
Hopefully we'll
knows,
find
man?
out one day.
Yeah, yeah, literally, man.
Who would
Oh,
you? I was gonna say if you were gonna be in a rap beef, who's the last person you'd want to go against? Like if there was one person that you just wouldn't want rap beef with, who would it be?
um, that's a good one. I don't even know. 50 Cent probably. I feel like he's like,
Yeah, it's a good one actually because
because it's
he's
not
not just
just the
getting you
rap.
on songs, is he? He's getting you on a post like every day.
Exactly, like he'll ruin your life like outside of music.
Yeah,
He won't just make a diss track. Like he'll ruin your life. It's like the whole Ja Rule thing. Like, did he buy like the first two or three rows to like
yeah. I
every
was
one
just
of his
thinking of that. He bought all the
concerts?
tickets the other day to those rows. That was
Yeah,
funny.
I feel like
He
his
was just
stuff
sat
is
there in the middle.
yeah. I feel like it's just I don't know. He's just funny with it though. If you're not on the receiving end of it, it's just funny. Like the
Yeah,
amount of shit he's giving P Diddy. I just
yeah.
look at the post. I'm just like, he is the best troll I've ever seen. It's entertaining.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, you're right. I can't think of many people other than him that
Mm.
I'd fully, well, a lot of people because I can't rap like that. But if I was like a certified rapper, yeah, 50 Cent would ruin your life.
Yeah.
Um, who else? Even like M as well. I wouldn't want to go against them.
No.
I feel
Yeah.
like he'd kill you.
Those two would probably be the
But he's
worst.
not really active on social, so you wouldn't get that side of it. You
Yeah.
just get like a mad diss track against you, and then it would kind of cool off, and people would just be like talking about it from that. But he's not going to be posting about you every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's
Even
like the
Rick
pink.
Ross is kind of funny with it, man. Like Rick Ross, all of a sudden is just so active
Yeah.
against Drake. He was just posting loads of stuff in his story, wasn't he? Just constantly taunting him.
Yeah. Yeah. Rick Ross is funny, man. I feel like it's just a meme. It's almost like DJ Khaled kind of vibes. He just doesn't take himself seriously.
Yeah, it's that kind of character, isn't it? He
Yeah.
just
Well,
comes
to be
out with
fair, they
those
live like
one-liners.
they're neighbors, aren't they?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
probably see a lot of each other, getting all the strategies down for social media.
Have you ever heard So I watch that Flagrant podcast all the time. You know Lil Dicky, the rapper who has the
Uh,
TV show as well.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you've ever seen his TV show, but it's like comedy gold, man. He was telling this story on Flagrant. I think he was filming the video for that track. It's like I woke up in Chris Brown's body.
yeah, yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember the title. It might have even just been that. It was like DJ Khaled and Chris Brown.
Hmm.
So I'm probably going to butcher the story, but Lil Dicky was saying that on the way to the video shoot, I think he was texting his manager or something like that, ideas and that, because it's Lil Dicky's kind of crazy with what he does. He just don't really give a shit. He'd rather just make like a funny video.
Mm.
And he was texting ideas to his manager, and he was like, I want DJ Khaled like naked, like doing whatever said he was doing as these ideas. But instead of texting his manager, he actually texted DJ Khaled. So he'd like text him saying that he wants DJ Khaled naked and all this stuff. And then when he got there, he just said it was just mad awkward.
Oh fuck!
Yo, here he is.
Yo, there he is.
Yo, what's good? Good.
What's good, man?
Just climbed
What
out of
what
bed.
what time did you guys start?
10.
10 o'clock.
I'm here sitting here like slowly taking my time, setting up, thinking, oh yeah, I still got like another good 20 minutes, whatever. I didn't realize you guys have been speaking for almost an hour.
Yeah. We literally
It's the
just wrapped
clocks,
it up.
that's
We was
why.
about to bounce. No, we're good.
No,
We've been
joke.
recording for like 37 minutes, so
Mm.
we're all good.
My bad, guys. I think it's because the clocks went back, so when it
Oh,
went
okay.
back, the time switched. I'm thinking it's 5 p.m. my time.
Yeah. Ah,
Right,
shit. Okay.
right. How was China?
We're here now.
It was good. It was interesting. Very, very different kind of place.
Mm.
Like
Is that the
super
first time you've been?
modern. It's the first time that I spent proper time there. The only other
Right.
times I've been was like a day each, like 24 hours.
Okay.
Mm.
It was cool.
What did you get up to?
So I was there. I did my EP cover for my next drop,
Sick.
and then I also did a video with do you know Bookie Beats?
Yeah, I literally followed her like a
Blowing
week
up on Twitter a
before.
little bit.
Yeah, I saw her
Yeah,
pop up on a reel, and I saw that you was doing a session with her. So that's cool.
yeah. So got some content there,
Nice.
and really I had to go somewhere because in Thailand you have to do visa runs.
Right.
The type of visa that I'm on, I have to leave and then come back.
Mm.
Okay.
So I had to go somewhere. So I thought, why not China? I can turn it into like a work trip kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind just
I've never
turning your
been.
mic up a little bit,
I d-
Ocean? It's a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
Is it quiet for you too,
How
Jay?
about now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of quiet. Maybe a little bit more.
Is it okay now?
I think, yeah, that might be all right.
I'll do like this. Maybe it should be louder.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems cool.
Yeah.
What was yeah, because I've never been to that. I've been to Thailand, but I've never been to China. It's like one place that I'm intrigued by. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, man.
And
It was cool. It's so. I found it like super modern. I've seen so many different car brands I've never heard of.
Mm.
All these different kind of electric cars.
Do you see Neo,
Neo.
the electric
I
car?
I saw one called Neon. I think it was called Neon. Oh, sorry, it was called Aeon.
It's like
Nah.
NIO.
Did you see one called
Nah, there's
Xiaomi?
Xiaomi. How do you
So
spell that?
XIOMA or something like that. It was a phone brand. I had a phone from them, and then I saw they did an electric car.
Maybe. I
Yeah.
saw the ones I can remember off the top of my head was like Aeon, Build Your Dreams, Maple. Yeah, so many. Every time I looked out the window, I was trying to keep counting in my head like, how
Damn.
many is there? Because usually in England, you see like what the same 10
It's just Tesla.
Vauxhall,
Yeah.
Mercedes Benz, BMW. But here, there's so many.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Huge tall buildings, good food, different food as well.
What
I
type of
went
food
to
were
one
you eating?
restaurant. I went to one restaurant. They were serving chicken testicles,
Be good.
fish bladder, all these kind of weird shit, pork
Oh,
intestines.
did you try any?
And then they had like a live section. Nah, bro, I'm not trying that. The craziest thing I tried was pigeon, and it had
Oh,
shark fin. It was like chopped up shark fin.
damn,
That's mad.
damn.
It
Pigeon and
tasted
shark
really
fin.
strong. Yeah,
Who would think to put those two together?
exactly.
Literally, man.
Crazy.
Pigeon and shark's
But
fin.
Yeah, I
yeah,
could imagine the food out there being a bit wild
yeah,
compared to
man.
what we know anyway. Because if we get a Chinese takeaway, like they're not actually eating that over there.
Nah, it's all. What I realized is that all the food is regional.
Mm,
So like, if you think of China as in states, and then every state has their own kind of food. And I
yeah.
think in China, in like the Chinese takeaway, like I always thought hoisin duck was called hoisin because it's the type of duck, but it's a place where it comes from, or like Peking
Okay.
Ah,
chicken because it comes from Peking, or Szechuan chicken because it comes from Szechuan. Like the way
oh
how they
shit,
do it in
yeah.
that
What
province,
about
whatever you
salt
want
and
to call
pepper?
it.
I
And
think
salt and
that's a
pepper.
place as well.
Hot noodle.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, we're in that restaurant that was serving those dishes. They had a live section. I'll show. I might have to send you the video in the group chat. They had like live frogs, turtle without its shell and skinless,
Oh,
eel, like
Oh,
all ready to be cooked. It was just, it was crazy.
oh,
that is
Jesus.
mad.
Never seen nothing like that.
When you see that stuff,
Hmm.
part of you is probably thinking like, "Nah, this isn't right, man. Like, this is wrong. Just keeping animals like that." But then, I guess people look at us and be like, "Well, look at everything you keep there. All those chickens that are cramped together, the cows ready
Mm,
to be slaughtered, like everything like that." I guess it's just a different normality over there, isn't it?
Yeah, just different perspective, I guess, on everything.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd
Yeah.
struggled finding food though, because I can be kind of fussy at times. Like if
Yeah,
there's not a
same.
burrito there, I'm like,
To be honest with you, I kind of stuck to like the same kind of things. Like
yeah,
as long as I could find like sweet and sour chicken, egg fried
yeah, yeah, yeah.
rice, I'm kind of good.
Mm,
Oh, of
So I
course, yeah,
kind of
all
I
that
kind of
stuff would
stayed
be fine.
in like a similar realm.
But when the testicles are on the menu, I'm like, don't know. I'm hungry, but not that hungry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got one of my boys lives in Vietnam, and he always sends me like pictures of like random
Hmm.
shit he's eating out there. And then last week he sent me a picture of I think it was a boar's head, like an actual boar's head, and they were eating. It was literally just eating the head, like the eyes, the brain, everything. I was just like,
Oh man.
nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
That's mad.
I think in Vietnam as well they eat. When I was there, they had pig brain.
Oh,
They would
Jesus
fry like
Pig
pig
Christ.
brain.
brain.
Yeah, it's
I think
horrible, man.
I've tried chicken heart. That
How was
might be
that?
as crazy as it gets. It was all right. 'Cause it was in it might have been in Fazenda. You know that place where it's just like
Oh yeah.
non-stop. I was gonna say non-stop meat, but then I would have had to say pause straight after it. But yeah, it's you know the place. It's just like all you can eat type of thing. But they
Yeah.
bring out like steaks and nice meat and everything. So they brought it out there. I was like, yeah, why not? I'll try it. But this was like years ago, so I can't really remember it. But I ate it, so it must have been all right.
Nice.
Fair. I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah, yeah. I guess there's some meats like you
What's been
can
new with you guys?
not a whole lot, man. Just normal stuff, really. Yeah, just normal stuff, filming, editing, normal shit. How about you? Did you work whilst you were away? Like apart from the sessions?
Not really. I was kind of exploring the city as much as I could, and just trying out different things as well. And I got a little bit ill towards the end.
Hmm.
I think maybe
Mm,
just the I don't know, what do you call it, the shift or the change in scenery and food,
Yeah.
and that kind of messed with me a bit. So like the last 2 days, I was kind of just out
How long
yeah.
were you
resting.
there for?
5 days.
So what with the visa that you have in Thailand, that means every now and again you have to leave for a bit.
So at the moment, I'm on like a longer tourist visa, so it gives me
Hmm.
2 months with an extension, which will make it 3 months. So it gives me three
Okay.
months, and then I leave, and then I get another 3 months. Then I have to leave again.
How long do you
But
have to leave for?
really, you just got to cross the border.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then re-enter. So after I do these next 3 months, then I need to get a proper visa,
Right.
Mm.
I guess it's
which
kind
is
of
more
a
long
good
term.
excuse to get away, go
Yeah,
somewhere new
it's
for
like
a
a
little
nice
while.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah, could see that being good. Where's next? You think?
The next break.
Yeah, where do you think you'll go then?
Well, initially I wanted to do Germany, but I'm not going to do that now. I've kind of scrapped that trip for now, and I think I'm
Right.
just going to do something around here. So maybe like South Korea, because I've never been there,
Mm,
and it's not too far. It's like an hour or two. Oh no,
right.
shit! It's a bit longer actually, but the flight is not too expensive. It's relatively close,
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. How much was it to get to China
and
from
I should be able
Thailand?
to do music there as well.
Mm.
Um, maybe 150,
That's pretty good. It's
200,
kind of like
150 around that
yeah.
return.
Is it kind of like traveling
Yeah, it's not bad at
In
all.
Europe, like from UK, like it's kind of cheap just to bounce around and go to a few places?
Not as cheap as Ryanair, but relatively quite cheap. Like certain places, like if I went to Vietnam and I booked in advance, I could probably get that ticket between 60 and 100 return.
Mm.
If I booked like Malaysia, maybe even less, maybe like 50 to 70. Some places are really cheap, but then like the further you get, maybe like a Japan or an Australia, maybe like two, 300.
It's not too bad. Yeah, not too bad.
I've never been to Australia. Have you been there?
I've never been, but I do really, really, really want to go for sure.
Yeah, that could be on the list. I've
Mm.
always wanted to go there.
Yeah, I've just never been because it's from England so far,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
always wanted to have a reason. Like I'm gonna go there to do some videos or do some music or something. Then I would do it.
of course.
But
Yeah.
just for a holiday, I was kind of just like putting it off. But I definitely do want to check it out.
Unless you're flying first class,
Yeah.
like man, those first class flights. When you see the rooms on some of the planes, like if you go with like Emirates or Qatar, you literally have like your whole bed. It's like you have a bedroom in there. Like you're just away
Mm,
from everyone. Some of them you
Mm.
have a shower. It's just like that wouldn't feel like 24 hours because that's
nah,
like the
man.
long to. Is that how long the flight is from England to Australia? Is it
Around
24?
that region, I think you got to stop somewhere, but around that
Yeah.
region,
So
Yeah.
imagine just having your room. You have Wi-Fi. Just cook up, have a sleep. Like you're chilling there.
That'd be
That's
so
not like
sick.
being in economy and just sat in between two people, like with your arms tucked in, just like, oh, we've got
Mm.
23 hours left of this.
yeah, and
Fuck,
you
man.
don't feel as sometimes when you travel, you feel knackered afterwards. You feel like you
hmm
just want to rest, but those you kind of come off the plane feeling fresh still because it's
Yeah,
you had a proper
Yeah.
sleep and everything.
a little bit of jet lag, but still fresh because you've had your rest.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
hear
need to
you.
see what the hype is about Australia because loads of people move to Australia and absolutely love it. So I want to see what that's like. But I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, there was hella Australian teachers, loads of Australians moving from
Yeah.
there
I
to
had an
England.
Australian
So
teacher. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wicked
Secondary
we
credit.
had
school.
loads. Like the whole PE department was Australian.
Oh shit. No
Yeah.
one was trying to get out of Australia and move to Huddersfield, so that's probably why I didn't see any.
Yeah.
That's not the first stop.
Straight to London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I do know loads of people that have moved from here to Australia
Hmm.
and they're
Yeah.
not coming
Same.
back like, ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It's
seems
a
to
whole
be like a
different
common
lifestyle.
move.
Definitely.
Hmm. Yeah.
I've got a few places on the list though. I've just booked Rome for next month. I'm going to Rome for a few days.
Jeez, that's gonna be
Nice.
sick.
Still never seen Rome, so always
With
wanted
your
to see
girl.
it. Yeah, yeah. Just me and her. Just for 3 nights, so just a short trip. And then Barcelona, just for a couple nights with the boys, a little bit after that. Then I've got Mexico this summer, man. Mexico's the big one.
Jeez. In Tulum.
Nice.
I'm near Cancun,
Okay.
so
Because there's a producer out there. I don't know if you remember Noise, Fabio from Noise.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
not sure, you know.
Noise London.
I'll send you him after, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you him after. But I think he's got his studio out there, so it could be cool to link up.
Yeah, that would be sick. But it's for my brother's wedding though, so there's
Oh,
loads of us over there. So I don't know if it's one of those ones where I can just like disappear for a little while and do my own thing. Because my girl's coming, like parents are there. There's the wedding, like this. It'll be kind of a busy trip, really. I'm
Yeah.
going for 10 nights, but there's a lot going on, so it might be a struggle to actually like get some work done out there.
Mm.
Hmm. That should be sick though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Definitely. We were just saying as well before you jumped on. We always talk about it, but it's been like a while since we had like a big link up. If you remember back in like 2021, I think it was that year anyway, when we were just meeting up all the time. I had the Airbnb sessions, loads of studio
Hmm.
sessions, and then all of a sudden it kind of just slowed down, didn't it? But it's not like
Pretty,
everyone had kids and stuff. Like I don't know what
yeah,
happened, but we
pretty much
had,
after 2020, the January one where we did the tour.
yeah,
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 that
that's
was the
right.
last big one.
But we're due another one.
Mm.
We'll definitely come out to Thailand at some point though. I'm still up for that.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe like
Whenever
back
you're
end of the
ready.
year, like post
Yeah,
summer or
it's
something, like a
probably a better
post summer
time to
trip.
go, isn't it? Like weather-wise.
Yeah, see what flights are
Yeah,
looking like, flight prices and stuff.
April. April was like I'd say April is the best, and then after April, maybe like October upwards.
Mm.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I need to do a trip out there. Where else could we go? Tempted to go Vietnam. I'd love to go to Vietnam. That'd be a cool trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, need to sort something out. Yeah,
I'm
For
down
sure, man.
I think my
wherever you
delay's
go.
like
Well,
crazy.
as long as it's not too far.
I think my delay's like a good like 3 or
Would you
4
say?
seconds. It's like
Oh damn.
I feel like I'm interrupting, but I'm not. And then I come through like a few seconds later on your end. I think it's my
Nah, you're
internet.
just rude, man. You're just rude. We need to get LOB some faster Wi-Fi, man. You need to get that Elon Musk one,
I need to get
whatever
on
it's
it,
called.
man.
So if
Every day I get closer
we'll
to
leave
just doing it.
a sponsor link in the description so we can keep LOB up to speed.
Trust me.
Need a GoFundMe link. Yeah,
Do you actually have those options out there though?
yeah. With the Elon one, it's different. You don't connect to like the mains. You buy a aerial like an antenna thing that you put wherever in your house, and then it's just like a direct
Mm.
link to the satellite. So it doesn't matter where you are. You just buy that. It's like 200-300 quid, and then you buy the modem, and then you pay monthly. So it's just a bit of an initial payout, and then after that, it's like 70 quid a
Yeah.
month, something like that.
But it's super fast after.
Yeah, it's like triple what I'd be getting now.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I remember
I'd be tempted.
in my old studio, because it was such an old area, none of it had been updated, so there wasn't really like any good Virgin or hyper optic or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So the only way to get fast internet was to like install literally get your own like wires installed,
Fuck,
and they would
man.
come and like dig the ground and do it for you. But that shit was expensive. When I looked into it, it was like 300 a month,
What?
Jesus
and then
Christ.
2 grand to get it done or something. But luckily, the guys who were below me, they had been in the building for a very very long time, so they got it done like years ago.
Yeah.
So
That's
So
it
can you
saved
use
me.
theirs?
Yeah, I was when they moved out. I basically used theirs.
Where was
Right.
that? In Soho?
That's
But
not too bad
before
then.
that, yeah, before that, I don't know if you remember, but the first building with the black door, I was hotspotting off my phone all the time.
I
Yeah, I
remember
remember
that.
that. Yeah.
But then when I moved into the second one, I didn't have to, and the internet was so fast
Mm.
because yeah, the guys left it there.
That's mad. As if they.
That's pretty sick.
I'm surprised that
It's,
Soho didn't have like fiber optic there. It's like the
yeah, that's
middle of
crazy because you
London.
were like
Yeah, it's
in
nuts.
the center, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for some reason, the center of London, the internet is not great. It's still too old. They haven't updated it.
Fuck, man.
That seems crazy.
Whereas,
That is
like when I was in
crazy.
Manchester, my building, that's probably like one of the fastest internets I've ever had. It had hyper optic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had that like a few years back when I was in an
Yeah,
apartment in Manny. That was a dream there. That was rapid.
yeah, so quick.
Yeah.
Uploading YouTube videos in like a minute.
It's literally just
Yeah,
like
it was
that. Yeah.
crazy.
I had that in Sheffield. I went to Sheffield for like 3 nights with my girl like 2 months ago, about a month ago. And the Airbnb we were staying in, just like a little apartment in the center. But I was uploading like my video courses to my community, and at home it was taking me like 45 minutes per video, and uploaded one video there, and it literally took like 2 minutes. It just went like one jump to like 15, then jump to like 50, and then it was so quick. So I was just like, oh man, I need this in my life.
That's the dream, man.
Trust me, makes life easy.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Just a random question that came to my mind. Yeah, I was just thinking about plugin companies, and if you could only keep one plugin company, who would it be? So you had to get rid of all other plugins, and you can just have ones from this one company.
Just plugins, right? Not VSTs, just plugins.
Yeah, just plugins, so like mixing. In fact, no, let's make it everything. So it could be
Ooh,
like instrument VSTs and
Damn.
that's a
effects.
tough one.
Or we'll do it separate. Well, let's pick an instrument one and then an effect one. It's like one company for the instrument side and then one company for just plugins.
Oof. For plugins, I'll say UAD.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only just started my UAD journey.
Oh,
I
you
just got
finally
some of
got
the
it?
plugins. No, I haven't got the interface yet, but I did a sponsored video for them, and they hooked me up with some stuff. So I've just been using some of the plugins, and they do seem real nice. I haven't used loads though. They've just
Nice.
released that Verve analog tape machine, that emulation plugin. And that's nice. Like I made like a soulful video for it, and it really did the job for that. But then I've used some of their like reverb and their organ, for example. So I've used a couple of them. They do
Yeah,
seem good.
I really like the reverb. I use the I don't use it all the time just because it takes up too much whatever.
Like
CPU.
CPU.
It's the DSP.
Oh,
The
okay.
it's kind of like CPU but for the audio interface.
Right. Got ya.
But I do like the reverbs there. What are you guys choosing?
So you're saying UAD for the effects?
Between that or waves, but I'll
I was
say UAD.
I was gonna say waves,
Waves
just
as
only because
well.
I've used them, but probably UAD or waves, just because they've got everything, haven't they?
Yeah.
But they haven't got
Yeah.
like effect like sound toys. They haven't got like crystallizer or like portal or
Yeah, it's true actually.
anything to like really fuck with the sound. Maybe they do. I'm not
Got
sure.
really good,
Sound Toys
just
has
like,
got that. Sound Toys has
yeah.
got reverb and but
Then Soundtoys
can you
doesn't have like your
EQ?
normal
Yeah, they haven't got
compressor
like a
and
good
everything
EQ
like
or
that, and
anything.
not like a powerful EQ like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, waves are really good for just like mixing. You know, if you're working with vocals or just trying to get like a clean mix, they have some creative stuff. But yeah, it's not like like you said, like the Portal or Crystallizer, is it? What's got everything? Has Arturia? Nah, maybe they don't.
Nah. It's like those plugins have only been
The
made by
Slight
like
Digital, although I haven't really tapped into theirs too much.
they've got one actually that does do something similar. They've got murder melodies, and that kind of fucks
Murder
with the sound.
Melodies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about VSTs?
That one's way tougher.
VSTs.
Flex.
I think for me,
It depends if you include like native instruments as for like
yeah,
all their instruments, because there's third party ones that can get there, or is it just their own contact banks? Because if it's like everyone's, that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, contact
Because
should make it
native
easy
instruments
answer.
don't make
I
all the
think we should
contact
say that
banks.
though. Yeah, I think we should say all of them because if you said Omnisphere,
Yeah.
you could use your own banks or
Yeah.
Arteria your own banks. So
I guess so.
Yeah, probably contact then.
Could be contact then, because you've got everything in contact, all the world suites. The
And you could just get
there's just
you
like
can get
every instrument
synths,
you
can't
can
you,
think
for
of
it?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably contact.
So maybe that. I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah.
UVI have been making some good stuff. I don't know if you've used much of their plugins, but they actually have some really good sounds.
what about
And
Arteria?
I use Analog Lab a lot. I can't lie, so I'd be a bit lost without that now. But Arturia don't have the live instruments that we need. Like if I need like a really nice nylon guitar, I'm not finding one in Arturia. Or if I need, I don't know, all those like worldy instruments, you know, like the ones that you'd find in Ethno World, you're not really
Yeah.
getting that either. So I think it has to be contact.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, nah, definitely.
Yeah.
What about it's kind of shady, but what's the worst plugin company?
The worst plugin
Who
company.
makes the worst plugins?
Flicking through my list now just to see.
Yeah, there's none that I don't.
It's probably some low key ones that we haven't really heard about, but out of like the more established ones, because we always like buy plugins that we kind of know are good anyway. Like you see them being
Yeah.
used in a video, so I rarely just buy something and like hope for the best. You know what I mean? Like we've probably tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking through all of them, but to be fair, like I'd say I use 80% of these plugins. I
Yeah.
don't have a huge list. They're very they're very condensed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I need to get more into actually Arturia plugins, like their own actual effects,
Oh,
because
they're
I don't
good, you
really
know.
use it too much, but I have seen people use it and they look kind of sick, especially for certain delays and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, they got cool delays. They got a really nice plate reverb that I
Yeah, that's
use.
nice.
A really nice chorus.
Spring
Chorus is
reverb's
really
nice
nice. That
too.
vintage one. Mm.
Okay,
So,
instead of the worst, what would you say is the most overrated?
ooh, overrated. Effects or instruments?
We'll say effect.
Man, that's a tough one.
Overrated.
I'll tell you what is crap. I just downloaded
Yeah,
this
what's
this
everyone
free
using?
reverb yesterday called Malibu, and it was terrible. It just sounded like the CPU was clipping, but it wasn't. It was horrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
I
looked
haven't seen
sounded
that one.
kind of cool on the demo, but it was terrible.
Overrated. Who are the
Fuck.
big ones? So we've got like Waves, which are sick. Slate Digital, which are actually good. Fab Filter, but they've got like the best EQ. I
I
don't think
think
there's a better EQ than that Pro
I'd say
Q3.
I'd say for yeah, Fab Filter's probably good, but like for what we use it for, we probably don't need it. If that makes sense. We're not audio. I mean, we're not really engineering like that.
Yeah, I've
I
seen people get
guess.
really complex with that.
Mm,
Yeah. Like the plugins are actually sick. Like they've got a really nice like multi-band compressor, but I'll be real, like unless we're mixing like vocals constantly, I don't find myself opening them. Even
mm,
like the EQ, I just tend to use the stock FL one now.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
same.
have Pro Q3. It's obviously like a better one. You can do more with it, but for the most part, I just pull up the stock one.
Instead of like singling out what's the most overrated like company, what's a plugin that you see people use all the time, or it's rinsed, or you think is rinsed and is overrated? One that is
Okay, just
popular,
a
but you
single
think
plugin.
I just don't use this VSTO plugin.
Right.
Fuck.
Then what's everyone using at the moment? Um, well, Analog Lab's still popular, but I use that a lot. Um, like Contact, still use that a lot.
Um.
Even this is hard because I don't like the stuff that I've been watching and I see people using a lot. Like I probably use it a lot myself.
I'll tell
What are
you
some other
one that
popular ones?
maybe is
What have you
like
seen?
it seems like a really good idea, but I just feel like there's other VSTs that are just pretty much as close to it, and they've got thousands more presets. Is Rhodes?
Oh, okay, yeah.
They've got the Rhodes
Like the
V8.
actual roads.
Yeah, the VST
Yeah.
for it. But like you can literally go. I mean, maybe I'm being naive, but like there's one in analog. There's like EP like Rhodes kind of presets in Analog Lab. There's even ones in Expand. There's ones in Treaton, and they all sound like too similar to like for me to warrant me like going to the Rhodes. So maybe that one.
I hear that. I have actually used the roads one, and it does sound really nice.
Mm,
But that makes sense what you're saying. That there's alternatives available
yeah.
already within plugins that you might already own. I'll tell you like one group of plugins that I just kind of avoid when I see them is any sort of like chord builder or like chord generator and scale builders. You know, like
Like
Yeah.
Scalar.
yeah, like I could see them being helpful for some people, but I think I bought Scalar and I've never used it. I think I used it one
Really?
time just to test it out, but
Yeah.
I don't know. All those plugins that just kind of build chords for you, I just find them I find them longer, if anything. Because, you know, when I'm building chords, I'm just kind of like clicking notes on top of each other and seeing what sounds good. But with this, it's like, I don't know. There's something just long about it where you click the chord, let me find another chord, and it just
Mm.
feels less creative.
But you feel a bit
Mm.
detached from the door as
I've
well.
I've I've
Like,
just recently
Yeah.
I've recently just been opening up Scalar to try and find chords in that, and I do hear you in in the sense that it definitely does feel a bit longer. But every now and again, sometimes I do find cool little chord progressions within it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
But
I could be using it wrong.
it's never quick. It's like if I have time and I can just like really just muck around, then I'll sit there clicking in chords. And then I never use that. I usually take it and then invert notes and stuff like that,
Mm.
Right.
and then switch the preset as well because the presets in Scalar 2 are not great, but the chord progressions are decent.
Yeah, you can take the
Yeah.
MIDI, can't you? You can
Like
just
the
drag the
options you can
MIDI
do.
into another sound, which is quite
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I guess like that, then it works. So I could see it being good for finding like chords that you wouldn't normally use. Because I do go to like similar chords quite a lot in my beats, just because it's almost
hmm
like muscle memory, where I just know certain things that are going to work. So yeah, I guess for finding those like obscure chords that you wouldn't have really thought about yourself could be
Mm.
good for that. So maybe I'm using it wrong. Um, what about like AI plugins? Haven't really used many AI plugins
nah,
like melody
Nah,
same.
me neither.
builders and things like that.
Nah, I don't use AI for music in that sense, but I use it a lot for vocals, extracting
Mm,
vocals, and
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
even just some, not all the time, but sometimes if I want to record something myself, I'll sing it, put it into the AI thing, see what happens.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you like change your voice basically.
Mm.
What do you use for that?
There's one called Musicify LOL, something like this.
Yeah,
And basically, you gotta try and sing as best as you can. If you can't sing, then you can even just take like a splice loop, for example, of a vocal,
right.
and then you put it in, and it changes the voice. You can
Okay.
change it to. They have some of their own voices there, but then you can also change it to like Billie Eilish, or
Ah, okay.
there might be like another famous singer as well. And with some mixing in that, it can sound good.
Mm.
I could see it being good for like phrases. You know, if you
Yeah.
just kind of come up with your own little thing instead of using a splice loop, that
hmm
could be a creative way. But did you say you have to actually sing it good, or does it have like auto tune built in?
You want to try and make it as clear and as clean of a recording as possible
Okay,
because it does. Yeah, it sounds like the new person, but it definitely sounds like you too.
right.
If that makes sense, like I might have to show you an example, but it's really like the way
Just
you
like little
sing it is exactly
characteristics
how it's
that
going to
still
be.
have
Yeah.
that still sound like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't really used it. I haven't tried. Like I've been hit up by a lot of AI companies with sponsorship opportunities, but just because I haven't really used them and haven't
hmm
really been that interested, I haven't done any. But it could just be another thing where I haven't thought of a creative way to use it properly yet. But that exactly what you just said, like just coming up with a phrase, I could see the benefit in that.
Yeah, for
Especially if you
sure.
fast forward like a couple of years, it'll probably get to a point where you could just maybe like hum something and it will like turn it into a nice phrase that's like perfectly tuned
Oh
and
man,
everything.
Yeah.
I think I came across an AI like this where, if I'm not mistaken, you kind of pencil in MIDI notes and then you
Oh, you
type in
choose
the
the
words on
words.
the MIDI
Yeah.
notes
Oh, I've
or
seen that.
something like that, and then it kind of sings in that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I have actually seen that as well.
Yeah.
But
I'm
then
just
still, you
gonna.
kind of have to like draw out the melody, don't you? I'm thinking of just like, okay, let me just hum this thing, like,
It just
and
turns
then
it
that
into a
just turns
song.
into like a beautiful voice where I can use as a phrase. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
kind of gets your idea and then transforms it.
hmm
Yeah. I'm just gonna run to the toilet real quick. 2 secs.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, the AI stuff is still on its way, still a work in progress, I think. But I think it will get there for sure. It's getting better.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's only gonna keep getting better and at a faster rate as well. Because it's
Hmm.
like right now, it's just probably gathering constant information and learning from it.
Yeah,
So the way it will advance was just gonna be crazy, man. It's kind of scary to see or think about what it will be like in 5 years' time.
yeah, man.
It all just seems brand new. Like
it's just
surely
gonna
in
be a
like
part of our workflow of everything we do. I feel like the way how we make
yeah,
beats is gonna incorporate AI some way.
yeah, definitely. So I heard Gary Vee talk about it as well. He was saying in maybe like fast forward 5 years, he thinks that AI influencers will play like a huge part in business and everything really, because it will just
Hmm.
get to a point where you can't even tell the difference between a person and AI. So like how a lot of people are using like influencers to promote products or whatever. Like people will grow influencers like from the ground up just from like being AI. So then they can use these AI influencers to promote the products or um I can't remember exactly what it was saying, but it was basically saying that AI influencers will become like a huge thing essentially
That's
in a
wild.
few years' time. And I could kind of see that being a thing because
That is
I
wild.
always think like to us, we like see like the weird side of it, but then think of someone who's growing up who has known AI all their life. So maybe when they're older, they might love AI music and just be like a huge fan of these AI artists because they've known them the whole life.
Yeah.
But for us, we're like, nah, we can like taking the human side out of it and taking the emotion out of it. But for people that I'm talking like maybe fast forward 10 years, there'll be a lot of people who have just known AI their whole life and it's just fully normal to them. They're fans of
Mhm.
these AI influencers, fans of the AI music. It's kind of weird to think that people will be like that, but surely it's heading in that direction.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it plays out because if we look at history, the only thing that I can think of that's kind of like close to it was, do you remember the Gorillas, the band? How that was
Mm.
just
Oh
like
yeah,
an animation,
yeah,
but somehow grew like a massive fan base.
yeah,
But technically, they're not. I mean, it is real instruments and instrumentalists and musicians behind them, but it's not their face. It's just through these animated characters.
yeah,
Mm.
So it's kind of been. It can work. I'm just thinking like, yeah, where it goes basically, how it works with the branding and stuff like that.
yeah. Of course,
Mm.
it's weird to think.
But would you think it would be any less work than if it was even yourself? Maybe it just gives you the privacy to go live your own life.
It's true. Yeah.
What do I think it would be less work to grow an AI influencer or AI
Yeah, or
musician,
AI
for
music.
example?
Yeah, AI rapper or AI artist.
It's a hard one. Do you think that
Um,
you'd still have to put work into like making? Obviously, you're not the face of it, but like you still have to make the animations and you still have to make the art, like the visuals, and you're not in it, but you still have, unless you just paid someone to do it. Do you know what I mean?
I think you still have to like feed it some information
But
because
then also
AI
just
right
the
now
whole
doesn't
branding
really.
around it too, building the audience and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, an AI doesn't have taste, really, does it? It's like it just does stuff based on what you feed it in a way. It
Mm,
Mm.
doesn't really have taste, if that makes sense. Because
yeah.
you need like that human element to actually like everyone has their own taste, and that's how like different creative pieces come out. But with AI,
Mm.
it feels like they're just going based off information that they've heard. It's not like, oh, you know what? I feel like creating this today because I'm just feeling a bit creative. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, there's like a certain element of taste in it that they just don't
Mm.
have. But can they develop it? Who
Well, I
knows?
mean, that'd be the craziest next step.
You never know, man.
Yeah.
Then that's when you can start thinking about, okay, they're gonna replace us now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Once they start showing more like human things like that,
Yeah.
then we're like, fuck. This is
Uh,
why I say please what to chat GPT. I say please and thanks.
Please
Yeah.
and thank you.
They'll remember me.
Good job, ChatGPT. Thanks for that
Got
Yeah.
it.
question.
What version
Sometimes
are
I
we
just
on
ask it how it's
ChatGPT
doing.
now?
There's like
Three.
four. They released four a while back, didn't they? And then I don't know if they've done an update since then. They might
Yeah.
have. Yeah, it's freaky, man. I
But
don't know if I'm ready
going
for
back
it.
to like an AI rapper or singer, how would that work in terms of touring and stuff like that?
Oh
Like
yeah.
gorilla style.
A hologram.
But
Just
what
have the big
do you know?
screen.
Do you even know what they do? Is it literally just a hologram on stage?
I don't even
It
know.
could be. Oh yeah, maybe it's just more of a virtual thing. Like the Fortnite gigs that were happening, the Fortnite
Yeah.
shows where it'd just be like you just in the game. The rapper pulls up like Travis Scott did one, didn't he? And
Mm.
a few people have done them on Fortnite actually, so maybe it'll just be more of a thing where there's like it could be live shows, but I could see it just being a big thing for like you've got your meta goggles on and you're all in like the same environment together. You're
Oh
looking to
man,
your right and there's
now
every other fan. Like say we're all a fan of this AI artist. We've all got our goggles in. We can like communicate with
Bro,
each other because we're stood next
oh
to each
man,
other at the
that's
venue.
I'm not
crazy.
liking this.
I'm not liking it. No.
But
this
that's
is
already
sounding this is sounding like two Ready Player One
Yeah,
that's
situations. Like
already
literally.
like
everyone's
happening
just
though.
everyone's just living online and not offline at all.
Can you imagine if you're the
Yeah,
artist?
man,
Don't
life on the
disturb me for a
roads,
week.
Life on
Like,
the
from
road.
sofa
Oh,
to sofa
so stressful.
in the own house.
On a treadmill,
oh
bro, running
man,
around
Because you could have those like treadmills that are like,
like 360
have you
ones.
seen those ones where it's just like a big square? Yeah, the 360
yeah.
ones where you can run but you're not even moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Mad. That is mad.
How do you get off those if it malfunctions?
Running for. Have you
Imagine
seen?
that. It's AI. They're like, not
Yeah.
moving today. But yeah, I've never actually tried them, but I think I feel like the augmented reality stuff is pretty cool though. You know, where you're kind of still in your environment, but then stuff happens. I think there's like a zombie game. It might even be that one you were talking about, but you know, like because some stuff like the virtual reality shit is like you're in a whole different environment,
Yeah.
but then with the augmented stuff, you could be like in your house and zombies are coming out of the wardrobe or whatever, and you've got to shoot them. Like, that stuff's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Yeah. I've seen some
At least
gameplay
you're
for
aware
that.
of your surroundings there. Like how many videos do you see of people with goggles on and they're like
Smashing
crashing
into
into
shit.
a
Oh
wall?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then think about how big goggles are going to be for people in like 5-10 years times. They're going to be looking back like, what, you had those on? Like it'll
Yeah.
just be surely at some point it'll just be like a contact lens or just something really small anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
They
think we'll
already
live
do it
enough?
with Ray-Ban, don't
You
they?
think it will happen in our lifetimes where everyone is just microchipped and wearing
Maybe.
these glasses and all that kind of stuff?
Potentially, man, because
Yeah,
it's already
probably,
got to a
man.
point where it's just like sunglasses pretty much. Like Meta are doing it with Ray-Ban.
Mm.
And the better
Yeah.
technology gets, it just decreases in size, doesn't it? So go from the goggles to this,
It's
like
true.
the
It's only
holograms and
10 years ago we were still rocking iPods before we even had it on our phone.
Literally.
It's not that long ago.
Portable CD
if you
players.
think
Or
in our
20
whole
years,
lifetime so
20
far,
years ago we had Walkmans.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that far.
we could be like a third of our way through life, maybe even like if that. If you think about the stuff we had when we were like babies or like kids, like you said, Walkmans, like we've been through that stage of like seeing Walkmans and then
Hmm.
of how much has changed since then. So then imagine how much
Yeah.
things are going to change in another 30 years.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see some crazy shit.
Did you
Mhm.
guys have a Walkman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
Walkman, and then
I
I
had a
had
portable
to
CD
carry
player, man. It was fucking
those
terrible.
portable CD players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And if you moved
Bro,
and you
it's
knocked
shit.
it, you just
yeah.
How many
scratched.
times you have to go and wipe that shit?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
That was long as well, because like traveling to school, I'd always have this little folder of CDs. So I'm like, whatever albums I've bought in the past like 2 weeks. So like, I just want
Yeah.
to hear one song on this album, and then get the other CD out,
There
change
you
it.
go. Yeah.
One song there. It's
Oh
long.
man.
Yeah.
But then you'd end up listening to whole albums and really take it in.
Yeah.
I did appreciate albums more then. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have to physically go to a shop and buy a CD. I was chatting to a girl about this yesterday. Can you remember when you used to have to go to HMV and you'd take the album and you could scan it to like preview some of the songs before you bought it? And they introduced that
shit.
later on as well. So you used to just have to like buy the CD and hope that it was good, but then they introduced those little pods where you go in HMV, you scan the barcode under the thing, put headphones on, and you could actually play some of the songs to preview it before you bought it.
I didn't know
If you
that.
remember that, didn't you?
Nah.
No, I don't remember that either.
I mean, that's cool though.
Mm.
Well, it was a thing, but
That's
yeah,
crazy,
it's
man.
mad how much things have changed in just our lifetime. So in another 30
Yeah.
years,
I remember switching to the MP3
Yeah.
and thinking that was like
man.
the best thing ever.
Yeah, that
the
was
little
like a
flick on the
dream.
side, you could just have like 10 songs on there.
But you had to put
Yeah.
like actual batteries in it
And
though. You had
then-
to put like double A's and they lasted
Yeah.
like
And then, what do you call it? Songs on the phone and then Bluetooth into each other.
yeah,
That was a
infrared.
wild time.
You had to like hold your phone
Infrared,
like
man.
this close to the next
Holding the
one.
phone
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. I remember at school,
Yeah.
like he just said like a tiny song.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
Years
think
time.
we've come up in the best time though, because
I
we've
think
had a bit
so.
of both, haven't we? We've still had like we've grown up in the age where we were actually playing outside a lot as well. Like I don't know about you boys, but
Mm,
when I was young, I was always just playing football outside or just out and about, just exploring. If I was
Yeah.
on my bike somewhere, we'd always link up outside, but because we
yeah.
didn't really like have phones like that back then. And then obviously you start getting like Blackberries and iPhones and everything, and just over time it gradually just became more antisocial in a way, or just
Mm.
changing what being sociable is, just making it more about being connected online. Um, but because we came up in that period where we didn't have that access, and then we did, we've experienced like the best of both. But
Yeah.
like people growing up now, I don't know. Like, have you ever seen videos on TikTok where I saw this one recently where this woman, she's just she said that she made her kids play outside because they spend too much time like inside, and she was just filming the kids outside and they just didn't know what to do because they've never really been outside to play.
Just stood there.
So one of them was just like picking leaves off the tree, the other was just like scratching his head in the garden. It's just like they don't know what to do, they don't know about Kirby or
Nah, Kirby,
Yeah.
brother.
Red Ass. Did you
Spent
ever used to play
hours
Red
playing
Ass
Kirby.
football?
Red ass, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All of that. Did you
heads and
used to
volleys.
ever play pat ball as well with the tennis ball?
No?
Pat ball.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
was
you
it?
never heard of pat ball?
What was pat ball?
It was kind of like you have a tennis ball, yeah, and you just need a wall, and you have to
Mm.
pat the ball, but it has to bounce in a certain way so the next person behind you can't get it. And it's like, let's
Ah,
say there's
okay.
6 or 7 of you, it's kind of going like round the
Oh,
room until
okay. Yeah,
someone
yeah.
misses it
Right,
and they're out.
maybe.
Got you.
Penny on the wall,
Don't know if I did that one. I
penny
did
on the
beat the
wall. When you
letter.
have to, you have, let's say you got like 20p, you flick it, it has to touch the wall and then bounce, and whoever touches the wall and it bounces closest to the wall afterwards keeps all the money.
Ah,
Oh,
okay. I
shit.
have to play all these next time we link up.
Yeah, play all
Heads
the
and
old
volleys and
games.
shit.
Bit Kirby, bit headers and
I
volleys.
remember there was one guy we used to play heads and volleys with who was like sick, and he ended up playing pro football as well. So his kick on a ball was just like rock hard. Like he could just fucking send that thing.
Yeah.
So if we were playing heads and volleys, like at the end, I don't know if you did the same thing, but at the end you did that thing where whoever was, I think you played up to like 20 goals or something, didn't you? And
Yeah.
whoever was in, who was the keeper for the last one, everyone who was playing got to take a shot at them. So you
Smack
had
it
to
at
like
the
just stand
roses.
and the
Yeah.
ball would be behind you, and they just smack the ball at you. And if you someone was shit at football, they might just miss because you're kicking it from a distance. But this guy, man, Ruben,
Just
every
clap you.
time he was so precise. He'd just get you like straight on your back, but just mad hard as well. So you'd be like,
Oh man.
really just win the shit out of you. I used to hate playing with him. Yeah,
Like, not
beat
too long
the
ago.
letter. Did you ever play beat the letter?
Beat the
Be the
letter.
letter.
Yeah, I can't remember
Nah.
like the exact rules, but there was like a word or something, and each person like had a letter, and it was like one team versus the other, and you had to like basically beat the letter out of the other person to like make up the word. So you'd like start it, and people would be hiding, and then you find them, and you've got to catch them. And as soon as you catch them, like they're not allowed to fight back, but you could start giving them digs until they give up their letter. So it's like
That sounds brutal.
That sounds.
yeah. It was a bit mad to be honest. So it's like
Yeah.
one whole team's hiding, and you find them. It's like, what's the letter? You just punching him in his ribs.
God.
It's like, it's L, it's L.
That one's wild.
That's brutal, man. Did you guys ever play
Yeah.
Bulldog?
Sounds familiar. I
So
can't remember the rules,
it's
but
such a
definitely sounds
stupid
familiar.
game. So like you start with like 2 or 3 people in the
Bulldog
middle.
charge. Yeah.
In 7, and
Tunnel
you
of
can do the
Death.
same
Did you
thing.
ever have that?
What's that?
Did you ever have the Tunnel of Death?
No.
So that was like, it was like another forfeit basically, you know, if like for like heads and volleys, for example, if you were like the person that lost at the end, like it would be in school, like whoever was playing, so there was like 20 people playing, there'd be like 10 people on one side at the end and 10 people on the other, and you just had to like charge through the middle as your like forfeit for losing. But then whilst you're running through that, people are giving you digs and like kicking you and shit. You just have to like make it through this tunnel.
Oh
But I feel
man.
like my school was playing some raw games, man.
I know, man. Jesus.
The rawest game we had was Scramble. Do you know about Scramble?
Scramble.
I'm not sure.
So let's say your friend or someone, he's like you ask him like, oh, how much? You just chatting. How much money you got? And he pulls out his change. Oh, I got £5, and you just go smack. All his money scatters, and then it's a scramble. It's like a royal mumble for all that money, basically.
That's
Oh,
jokes.
just
That one
picturing
was
that
intense.
exchange.
Yeah, we always knew that. Just don't ever just put your hand out with money. As soon as you do
Yeah.
that, it's in the air. It's anyone's now.
Oh man.
And especially if it was like a £2 coin, that's like a brutal Royal Rumble there.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
The kids are ruthless, man. I remember then we just didn't give a shit.
You literally don't care, man.
Imagine doing that
Yeah.
now. Just like we linked up for a session. It's like, yo, Ocean, how much money you got?
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's just going for it.
What laptop have you got? Bang.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Right.
What about did you ever used to, not in school, but outside of school, did you ever used to play Knockdown Ginger?
No.
That was the best one.
Explain the rules. I think we did, but I just want to hear you explain
it's literally just you knock on someone's door and then you got to run. You just got to sprint,
Oh yeah, yeah.
hide, and then see if they open the door.
Yeah,
Is that
played
knock
that.
a door run?
Knock door run, yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Knock a door run.
Yeah.
Why was it
Where did you get
what did
ginger
what did you
from?
say?
I thought-
Lockdown ginger.
Knock
I thought you said
down
knock-
ginger.
Knock
Oh,
down ginger. Where
knock
did you get
down-
ginger
yeah.
from?
I don't know. That was just the name on the street.
Oh man.
Knock. What do you call it again? Knock it down.
Knock door
Just
run.
knock a door run.
Knock
Like
a
you
door
knock on
run.
the door and then run.
That
Knock
sounds
down
too
ginger. You
northern.
sure
Knock
that
a
wasn't
door
something
run.
else? You sure you weren't just attacking ginger people?
Man, my boys do that. My friends from uni, they do
That
that
was a
still.
fun
Like
one.
when we were
Some
sick.
childish things just never
Classic,
get old, do they?
Classic
Yeah.
Tig.
Of course.
Tig, you
Or
haven't played
tag.
Tig or Tag.
Just tag.
Yeah, you just play.
It. We call it it.
Yeah, okay, but when you get
never
them, you
called
have
it
to,
as well.
Once you tag them, what happens?
then
And then they chase you.
Yeah,
you
we
want to
called
be.
it-
Okay.
I
Oh,
saw,
so you're the person.
I saw a
Okay, I
TikTok
get
the
it.
other day.
Yeah. That's funny to think, actually.
Got off topic.
From up north and down south, we probably have loads of different names for things.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you call what do you call it? A chip butty or a chip bomb? Or a chip
Neither.
tea cake?
Neither.
Chip sandwich?
Chip sandwich, yeah.
What?
Just a chip sandwich?
Or a
Chip butty.
wrap,
What-
but a chip
What
sandwich.
bread
yeah.
would that be? Would that be
A roll?
like
chip roll? Yeah, chip roll.
chip
But
roll?
no one. I gotta be honest with you. I ain't really ever seen anyone eat a chip roll in school.
That was like
That might
normal.
be a
in-
northern thing.
Yeah, it's the
Nah,
normal
I
thing.
thought that's just a UK thing, man.
Nah.
Yeah.
We used to have like bacon rolls or sausage rolls, but like sausage in a roll, not actual sausage roll.
Yeah, yeah. Did you
I
have?
never
Did you
seen
have
anyone eat a chip
scraps?
butty. I gotta be honest with you. What's that?
Know what you
Nah,
mean.
I gotta be honest with you. Where in London where I was, no one really ate like fish and chips and stuff like that. It was always chicken and chips. After school, you'd get chicken and chips,
Yeah.
like 3 wings and chips for £1 or something like that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like the most popular thing.
Yeah, I can't lie. I was never big on fish and chips. I never used to like fish when I was younger. I do
Yeah.
now, but I was the same when people were going like fish and chip shop. I wasn't really on it.
Yeah.
Even now, like I don't really go much. What food would you say you order the most now? If it's just like a quickie,
it's
like
like a
not going to
takeaway.
restaurants. Yeah, yeah, just like quickie. Don't need to be a restaurant.
Back home, I'd say maybe like a Turkish or a Chinese.
Okay.
But when I was younger, it might be more like Chinese or Indian or chicken and chips.
Yeah,
Kind of just
hear
what's
that.
around, honestly. What has the most shops? Back then, it was like Chinese, Indian, loads of chicken and chip shops.
yeah, it does depend what's local to you.
Yeah. I think up
Man,
north
I was
is more fish
one
and
of
chips.
my old
right?
spots. It was like perfect. I had like literally like the best Caribbean place in Manchester, so I'd be there like every week, and then had like the best burrito spot in Manny as well. So like every weekend, it was just like, right, we'll go to Buzz Rocks one day, and then go to Pancho's the next day, and that was just like every weekend, just Caribbean,
Oh
and then
shit, Panchos. I think I tried that actually. You know,
yeah, they changed to Casa Mexico, I think, but Pancho's was the one.
was it in Arndale? They had one in Arndale.
Yeah, they had a small market one in there. So I used to go to
Yeah.
the one that was like just off Oxford Street. But yeah, they do have that market one.
Did we go to Pancho
They were the best.
before they changed?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that was banging. That
That's
was
the one.
banging.
But now I'd say there's not much around here. But I've always liked like Lebanese food and like Turkish. So there's a Lebanese spot near here which I find myself at a lot. So just like grilled meats, hummus, pear, I love that shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like a good. It's not
What do you
like
think you
greasy
order the
food, is
most?
it?
Yeah, you never finish that feeling horrible. You always
Yeah,
just feel fine.
Yeah,
yeah,
pure proteins.
Yeah, of course.
exactly, man.
It was like
Exactly.
last night. I haven't ordered one in a while, but I had pizza from Papa John's last night, which was like a rare thing. But even like
Mm.
today, I just felt like a bit groggy. You know, like just
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
feel
just sits in
greasy.
your stomach, innit?
yeah.
Yeah,
But it's so good. Papa John's is
it
It
was
is
so
good.
good, man.
so
It
In that
good.
slaps.
moment, I just could not be bothered cooking last night. I was just
Mm,
like, fuck it, let's just do it.
yeah,
And in that moment, it's just like I could get through like just this whole big pizza by myself.
Yeah.
mm.
In the moment, it feels so good as well. You're taking each bite,
Yeah,
you're like, man, this is sick.
The
But once you get
texture
to
is
like
just
the final slices, it's like, okay, this feels like it's getting a bit much
heavy.
now, but fuck it, let's keep going.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally,
It's like
man.
over 3,000 calories as well, just in that one sitting.
Yeah. Domino's party.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Tempting. Do you remember
It's
we
gotta
went
be
to that
done every now and
place?
again.
Or
People like
in
Turkish
Wood
people.
Green, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
That was so good.
Yeah.
We had that
Oh yeah,
we had
I
that
remember.
mez.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Around
yeah. You
that
can't go
area
wrong
is
there.
heavily Turkish, so tons of Turkish restaurants. Making me
Ev-
hungry.
Anyone watching? I know I'm
I know.
literally getting
Yeah,
hungry.
we threw a couple
From
VSTs in there.
VSTs to flipping. What did you play as a kid?
Yeah, the
50 years
title
ago.
for this is gonna be mad.
Yeah,
Favorite VST and knock a ginger down or whatever it's called.
Oh, but what did you call it again? Knock a
Knockador
door
run.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever get
Knock a door
caught?
run.
Did you ever get caught? Like they say you knock and then
Oh yeah,
they don't
I've
answer,
definitely been caught
and then you
before.
go
Yeah.
back and knock again, and they're waiting by the
With
door.
Yeah,
And they're
so,
like, "What are you
yeah.
doing?" Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I was doing it on my own street like a dickhead, and the woman like knew who it was because there was only like a couple kids on the street, and she'd called the police, and the police came to my house when I was young, and my mum made me go and like apologize to the woman, so me and my boy had to go up and like knock on her door and stay this
Oh
time,
no.
like say sorry to her and everything. It's
Oh,
kind of
that is
raw if you think
hilarious.
like when you're a kid, you're just laughing like, let me just run away. But
Yeah.
she must have been like 80. She was probably like petrified. So I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
so
Me,
embarrassed. I was like, I'm sorry.
me and my cousin was saying this the other day. We was talking and we were saying when you're young, like 11, 12, 13, in secondary school, you laugh and you're laughing like it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But really, it's just like you're not really laughing that much.
Yeah.
Like I remember times in secondary school, we used to laugh like the hardest laughing that I've ever done in my life. I
Yeah.
don't think I've laughed as hard as I've laughed
Yeah.
since secondary school. I'm thinking back about what it was. It wasn't like anything crazy. It could have just been like a teacher she said the word the wrong way.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now everyone's just
Everyone found it
laughing.
hilarious. Yeah.
While she's drawing
Yeah.
something on the board and it looks like a dick, and then everyone's like,
Yeah.
trying not to laugh.
There was a guy in my
Yeah.
class.
Well, I got sent home from school once because we had a substitute teacher called Mr. Neil Ball, but he had this little name badge that just said M Ball, so I was calling him No Balls. I think that was funny. And then my head teacher had to call my mum at work, and she was like, because my mum still talks about it to this day. She always, because at the time she had to act like she didn't find it funny, but when she got the call at work, and the head teacher was just saying, "I've sent Adrian home for calling Mr. Neil Ball, Mr. No Balls," and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then as soon as she put the phone down, she was like cracking up.
Is it herself? That is
But she didn't tell me
hilarious.
that at the time.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, nah. Sub teachers
Feel sorry for
They
didn't
had
them.
it
last, man.
bad.
Yeah.
That
It's-
is not.
Did you ever get sent home from
That's
school
a
like
tough one.
excluded?
Never got excluded, but we had this thing called top corridor, which is basically if you got sent out of class, you was forced to sit on this really empty, long corridor by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like where all the bad kids are. If you got sent to top corridor, it's like a big deal. It's
Oh,
a
like
step before getting
isolation.
sent home.
Isolation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like an isolation thing. I only got sent there once, and it's because I had a fight with. Honestly, the guy was probably like one of my best friends in school, but just for that particular day, we was just
Yeah.
pissing each other off. Like I remember just sitting in class and just, I could see it ramping up. We'd just be taking a piss out of each other, taking a piss out of each other, until it got to break time. We was just like, you know what? Let's fucking have it. And then we just fucking swang on each other, started fighting. And then we were sitting on top corridor, just like complete silence, us looking at each other like, what kind of vibes? By the end of the day, by the next day, we was best friends again. I remember like we linked up in the morning. We was just like, yeah, let's eat some donuts. Let's just fucking.
Oh my
And we
days.
started talking football, and it was like it never happened.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
the
that's
thing about when
funny.
you kids in it, you could just make up instantly. No grudges held.
It was
Nah.
crazy. I think maybe it might be different with girls and boys because the girls that held feuds, yeah,
Yeah.
man, it was way deeper. There was like, I think girls might be scarred from some of the things I had to see in secondary school from the feuds. Some real trauma.
Yeah.
Might have to go therapy type shit.
Yeah.
I think that's even a thing at this age, though. Like, I think guys tend to fall out and make up quicker
Pretty
and
quick.
easier than girls
Yeah.
do. Because when girls fall out, like, I feel like they don't have it out in a conversation like straight away. They might talk to their friends about them and all this behind the back stuff. But with guys, most of the time we're just like, bro, what the fuck? And then we'll just say it how it is. And then one of us might be like, yeah, my bad, bro. And then it's just like made up, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
We can, in some situations anyway, it depends what's happened.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
For sure.
Getting
We
in
should.
a few years ago.
Yeah, I never understood what happened there.
Yeah. But that was like
They had the
bad,
beat
like,
battle.
still.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Hmm.
They might have explained it at one point.
Yeah, they
I
jumped
don't-
on a
because
call.
I think
or
that might
something.
have been. Yeah, it might have been when I just like started YouTube or something, so I wasn't really like tapped into it properly. I didn't know like what was happening. I think they worked it out though, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Or did they?
They had
Did
diss
they?
tracks.
Yeah, they made diss tracks. Busyworks like spat on a song, and
Jeez.
so did
Like actually
Curtis.
rapping?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably. I think so.
No way.
Speaking of diss tracks, I
Oh
guess you guys heard the new Drake one.
Not the,
Yeah, we were talking about these like before you jumped on, but he was saying he hasn't listened to them. I've heard them all, man. I'm properly
There's another new one.
well. No,
last
we're just
one I
talking
heard
about
was
all
the
the
AI
diss
one.
tracks because there's that was the last one from that beef,
Okay.
but then there was like the Chris Brown one against Quavo's response, and
What's
then
that about?
from
Just
what I
popping up
kind
out
of
of
gathered
nowhere
in the
now.
tracks, it sounded like it was over a girl from what Quavo said because he says something like,
Jeez.
I don't know his exact words, but he was like, I can't believe we're doing this over a girl, one of those lines anyway. So it might have been some like pillow talk where maybe they've been around like the same girls, and when they're together, they're talking about the other people, and then that girl goes back to the other one and was like, oh, he said this. So I'm guessing it's something like that, but it could be something deeper behind the scenes that we don't know. But yeah, there was those
2024
two.
year of beef.
Yeah. And then who else was it? Oh, Kanye dropped the Like That remix, this and Drake.
Oh yeah,
That got
I
taken
saw
down
the
by
podcast for
Sony.
that.
Who else has got involved? I feel like there's just a lot of diss tracks floating about.
yeah. It's good
And then
though.
who did Gucci Mane just put out a No Diddy track? I haven't. I just see the clip. I was like, I need to check that.
Man, the Diddy thing
Everyone's
is so
just on
crazy.
smoke right now.
Everyone is. Yeah, it's 2024,
Yeah,
man. It's
yeah.
the year of diss tracks.
Everyone is talking about it.
Mm.
I got caught up and watched like a 45-minute YouTube video on that Diddy thing.
Oh, the Patrick
Did ya?
CC one.
Is it good?
Yeah. It wasn't his one, but it was something similar to that, like a video essay kind of thing.
The
need to
diss
check
track
one
to
out.
P Diddy.
Do you know what flipping Suge Knight jumped on a podcast recently as well? Talking about this whole Diddy situation.
I
Holy
heard him talk
from
about
jail.
the Drake track, but I haven't heard this.
Yeah.
man.
Where was that? Where can you
Patrick
find
Bet
that?
David.
Yeah, I need to listen to that.
Patrick David. Yeah, I need to actually watch some videos explaining it because I don't actually know all the beef, like where it all started. I don't know if people actually know where the Drake and everyone else thing started. Because I think people have
guessing
accused Drake of like sneak dissing in songs. I've definitely heard that. But I
I'm
don't know
guessing
if
the
there's...
Drake and Kendrick one is more like musical, innit?
Feels like it.
I can't imagine it being anything personal.
No.
I thought it was just more like who's the best. But then the Drake and Future one, isn't that about a girl?
Yeah, it could be. But I don't know like what happened though. We
No,
were talking about
I-
it earlier, weren't we? We were saying yeah, we were saying like who would you want to be in beef with the least out of rappers? But what about as a producer? So if there was producer beef, who would you hate to go up against? Who would you be like, nah, I've got to beef this guy?
But when we say beef, what are we talking like? Oh, we got to beat battle it out or something?
Yeah, it's like beat battles, getting personal, like everything. Don't have to
Who
like
makes the harder beat?
end in a fight, but it's just like just to have an online beef with someone where it's like, I don't know, you've just got that feud.
I mean, I don't want to beef anyone, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to weaver, but there's some beefs
say
that
weaver?
might go a bit easier than others.
I'm not trying to weaver.
Nah, I
It
said
just came
I
out.
said
That's what
I
I thought you
said,
said as
So
well.
did
Yeah.
I said me neither because I'm not trying to beef with anyone because I was got the energy for that. But then I said some people would be easier to beef against compared to others. Because you could land in a situation where like, yeah, it's annoying, but I've kind of got this. But then there's other ones who be like, do I have to beef this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some guys are just a bit more on it.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to think about that one. I'm gonna ask like who you'd most want to beef. That's like a toxic combo.
We're starting it
'Cause
now.
The beef begins
That's
today.
what starts it. Yeah, we're just here chilling, man. We're all friends.
It's all fake.
Getting
It's
my
all a
diss track
facade.
ready.
Be fun to witness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
can't lie.
Yeah.
Would you have a
Sit
beat
back and
battle with
watch.
anyone? I've never really been
A
like
beat
into beat
battle?
battles like that. I don't really make beats for beat battles. That's a whole different thing.
It's kind of light-hearted,
Like
that one, isn't
a
it? It's
beat
not
battle
like...
beat. Yeah, but it's just like I don't even know if I'm like up for beat battles because you just have to change your whole production style as well to like go up against someone in a beat battle.
Yeah,
It's
and it's too
like-
subjective as well.
Yeah.
Man. It's literally just somebody could have a beautiful beat, but because the other person is just a little bit harder, they're gonna
Yeah.
win. But arguably, their beat is not necessarily better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But for a beat battle environment, okay, maybe.
I
But,
guess that...
but I don't know. I don't necessarily love like beat battle beats anyway, where they're super.
I guess the only thing you can really judge it off is
Yeah, they're
like
just
the
a bit, like,
technical
hard.
ability. Like, maybe you can see the project
Yeah.
while...
20,000 switch ups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell you what I hate about
I
beat
can
battles.
appreciate them.
Everyone. But I hate that.
Oh, that's so awkward, isn't it?
It's...
Unless they're really good at it.
Yeah.
I went to I did a beat battle. Not, it wasn't mine, but it was a studio. Remember Signature?
You
were
They had,
judging,
a
weren't
beat
you?
battle. Yeah, I was a judge, and there was a guy. He was sick, named Cairo. Shout out Cairo. He would put like ad libs and stuff in it, and then he would perform his ad libs and just I don't know the way he was doing it was sick. But then there was another guy, and the way he was like, I asked him as well because he'd perform to his beat, like bop to it, but his bop was very irregular. So you know, like how people shake their hands like this, like that.
Yeah.
He did it backwards somehow. He was like flinging his hand, but in a backwards motion. And afterwards, I asked him like, "Why'd you do that?" And he said, "Oh, just everyone does it forward, so I thought let me just be different and do it backwards."
Did it work? Like, did it look in sync and everything?
It just looked crazy. It looked wild. It looked like very energetic. That's all
Yeah.
I can say.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't got the energy for that type of thing. I'd just be on stage.
But
just
it's
bobbing my
also
head.
awkward,
Do a
just
little
like
fist
just you could. But the thing is, yeah, when you do move and dance to your beat, I feel like it can play a little to your advantage. It can make
Yeah,
things
definitely.
hit harder, you know.
Yeah.
Because energy transfers, doesn't it, man? It's contagious. So if you've got mad energy on stage, then it's like almost your beat has more energy, or people think it does, just because you're vibing to it. Whereas if you just stood there just playing it, then yeah, I could see why that could help.
It's like, what the fuck's this guy on?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Yeah, you gotta have the skills to back it if you're gonna be like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless you're just gonna be the humble guy with like the hardest beats, but you just not
Don't move
you're not
at
moving,
all.
you're
You just sort of stand there.
Yeah,
and
it's
just-
true.
chill.
Yeah.
Silent killer. I think it might be a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a long
it's
one
been an
for you,
interesting one. Random conversations, so hopefully people enjoy them because we can go from VSTs to school and all kinds of random stuff. But I guess that was the whole point of the Producer Diaries podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
whatever.
Best of
The
both.
rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then, people.
But yeah, man. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. And once again, we'll see you in the next one.
Take
Much
care.
love.